Namaskar. Today we are going to do a quick revision in a simple language through a shared PDF notes in Law of Human Rights. This is a important subject where we are going to cover total 22 topics. You may download complete notes from the description link or from the first comment of this video. In this note, we try to cover all the major topics which are important for the law students and competitive exams points of view. Let's start the topic which all are covered in the entire notes are as follows. Introduction to human rights, objects of human rights, sources of human rights, approaches of human rights, theories of human rights, kinds of human rights, history of human rights, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that is UDHR, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, Vienna Declaration, United Nations Charter, National Human Rights Commission, European Convention on Human Rights, American Convention on Human Rights, National Commission for Women, Tehran Conference, Human Rights in the Indian Constitution, Judicial Activism, United Nations Commission on Human Rights, United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, and the last one would be Human Rights Council. So now we are going to have a look each topic one by one. Just wanted to share that all the topics has been designed in this way that do not need explanation. Still, if I would like find anyone place where explanation would be needed, I will certainly do that. So first topic is human right. What is human rights? Human rights are the basic right and freedom that belong to every person in the world from birth till death. Actual definition would be according to section 2 subsection D of the Protection of Human Right Act. Human right means the right relating of life, liberty, equality and dignity of individual guaranteed by the Constitution or embodied in the international government covenant and enforceable by court in India. Objects of human rights are as follows: to protect human being, to develop individual self-respect, to value human dignity, to promote respect, understanding and appreciation of diversity, to promote democracy, social justice and friendship among people and nations. Sources of human rights are as follows: Universal Declaration of Human Rights, international treaties and covenants, international customs, judicial decisions and official documents. Approaches of human rights through philosophical or theoretical pragmatic approach, natural rights theory, legal rights theory, historical theory, social welfare, social expediency theory, idealistic or personality theory. Now let's see one by one. Natural rights theory. Every person gets rights from nature against other person. If any person gets rights, then other person also gets duty against that right. Example, God given right to live, other person duty is not to take life of other. Features of natural rights theory. Human rights are said to be recognized. Human rights are non-transferable. All human beings are equal. The legal rights theory. A state gives such rights to the person. Their rights are not absolute, neither inherent. Example, right to property, right to privacy. The historical theory. Rights received from the history. Example, customs. Customs means rivaj. Social welfare, social expediency theory. Rights received from the society. Example, customs from society. Idealistic theory or personality theory. It means rights require developing inner value, personality. Inner value or personality. Example, right to life, right to talk, act, etc. Pragmatic approach. All or any rights can become effective through some process only. Those rights which are in practice must go through the process to become effective. Kinds of human rights. First generation, civil and political rights. Second generation, economic and social rights. Third generation, collective rights. Civil and political rights. Rights contained in the covenants of civil and political comes under this category. Example, rights to liberty, rights to privacy, rights to freedom. Collective rights. or we can also say that group rights. Individuals are also members of such unit, group or community and a state. Therefore, international laws not only recognize an invaluable rights of individuals but also recognize certain collective rights. Example, rights to peace and development, rights to self-determination. Economic and social rights. These rights refer to an economic and social right which are considered to have been originated in the Russian Revolution in 1917 and Imperial Peace Conference of 119 consist of 31 articles and preamble. Example, food, house, standard of living. History of human rights. The Magna Carta 1215. First time people stands against the king's law. It is called Great Charters should not take unfair taxes. 63 clauses mentioned in this charter. The English Bills of Rights 1689. Given by Parliament of British, as per them, king is not above the Parliament. Parliament is supreme. American Declaration of Independence 1776. America was first county who revolt against England. America declares that to give natural rights to their citizens. The US Bills of Rights 1791. US Constitution was enacted on 17 September 1787. Madison proposed 12 amendments. 10 of these rights were considered by the state legislatures. The French Declaration of the Rights 1789. 17 rights were formulated in the article, abolished all the old systems of kings. Declaration of International Rights of Man 1929. After World War I, people an arrest and the importance of human life. Institute of International Law adopted the Declaration of International Rights of Man. The UN Charter 1945. Adopted by 51 states, it is the first official document for human rights. The next one is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948. Accepted by the General Assembly of the United Nations on 10th 1948. Consists of 30 articles, cover civil, political, economic, social and cultural rights of all men, women and children. International Covenants on Human Rights. Two covenants were formed: International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that is UDHR. UDHR is an international document which was adopted by United Nations General Assembly on 10 December 1948 in Paris, France. This day is celebrated throughout the world as Human Rights Day. In 1966, international covenants were adopted codifying two sets of rights outlined in the Universal Declaration, that is International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. Universal Declaration along with the two covenants and the protocols comprise the International Bill of Human Rights. Rights in UDHR are as follows: contains 30 articles. Out of 30 articles, 21 articles cover civil and political rights and 6 articles cover economic and social rights. Here articles spelling is mentioned wrong, so kindly make it correct. Article 1 and 2 general articles, Article 3 to 21 civil and political rights, and Article 22 to 28 economic, social and cultural rights are defined in that one. Legally effect of UDHR. The Universal Declaration is not a treaty, so it does not directly create legal obligation for constituents, do not have binding effects. International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The covenant consists of preamble and 53 articles. This covenant is divided into 6 parts. Part 1, 2 and 6 explain the implementation procedure. Object: to allow the enjoyment of civil and political rights, to provide an effective remedy, to create binding effect. Vienna Declaration 1993. 171 states have been participated in Vienna Declaration 1993. Obligations of the states are defined over there. Coordination of the activities has been defined. Universality of human rights has been approached. Democracy, development and respect for human rights. Rights to development. Effective remedies to redress human rights. Education, implementation and monitoring methods. Increased coordination on human rights. Reduce external burden. All these are mentioned in the Vienna Declaration 1993. United Nations Charter. It's signed on 26 June 1945. Check the spelling of sign. Came into effect on 24 October 1945. Its objective to save from war, not where. It's save from war. Means Yudh. Equal rights of men and women. Safeguard of fundamental rights. Promote social progress. It's divided into few parts. Preamble divided into two parts. Part 1, maintenance of peace, security and respect for human rights. Part 2, the governments of the UN have agreed to the Charter and its first international documents regarding human rights. 19 chapters, 111 articles and 5 amendments are there. Theories of human rights. Rights based on natural rights, rights based on justice, rights based on reaction to injustice, rights based on dignity, rights based on equality of respect and concern, rights based on cultural reactivism or relativism. That is not respect, that should be respect and concern. Let's see in detail. Rights based on natural rights. Based on Immanuel Kant's compelling ethics, every person's desires and ends are different, so any principle derived from them can only be contingent. All people are naturally equal, so their rights should be too. Based on justice, given by John Rawls, a philosopher, the role of justice is crucial to understanding human rights. In a society, the liberties of equal citizenship are taken and secured by justice. Two principles of Rawls. Each person is to have equal rights. Social and economic inequalities are to be arranged for justice. Rights based on reaction to injustice. Professor Edmund Kahn's theory, it is better to approach justice from its negative rather than its affirmative side to provide really of injustice. Rights based on dignity. Following values are involved in this theory: respect, power, enlighten, well-being, health, skill, affection, rectitude. Right based on of equality of respect and concern. Ronald Walkin. Government must treat all their citizens with equal concerns and respect. Everybody can count for one, nobody for more than one. Rights based on cultural relativism. No human rights are absolute. One may use for judging behavior are relative to the society in which one is raised. Next topic is National Human Rights Commission, NHRC. Constituted by the central government, chairperson retired Chief Justice of India, one member judge from the Supreme Court of India, one member Chief Justice of High Court, two members having vast knowledge in this field. Chief Executive Officer of State Commission. Structures are as follows: Chairperson of National Commission for Minorities, Chairperson of National Commission for ST, Chairperson of National Commission for Women. President appoints the chairman and members recommended by Prime Minister. Appoints for 5 years till the age of 65 years. I guess that need to check. Can remove only on charge of misbehavior or incapacity if proved by. Their functions are as follows. According to Section 12 of Human Rights, following are the functions: conduct inquiry against public servant, upon approval to court intervene in the proceeding related to the human rights, that is not interview, that is intervene, visit jail or any other such institutions which are under the control of a state government, review and recommend measures for effective implementation of law, study treaties and other international instruments on human rights and make effective implementation, promote encourage the efforts of NGOs and institutions working in the field of human rights, spread human rights literacy among various sections of society. Powers of NHRC has all the powers of a civil court in a suit, summoning and examining the witness, discovery and production of any document, demanding any public record from any court or office, issuing commissions for the examination of witness or documents. European Convention on Human Rights. The European Convention on Human Rights protect the human rights of people in countries that belongs to the Council of Europe. There are 47 member states have signed the convention, signed in Rome November 4, 1950 and came into force on September 3, 1953. 59 articles and 16 protocols are mentioned over there. That is not signed, that is signed. Rights and freedoms provided by ECHR: rights to life, rights to liberty, freedom from slavery, freedom to slavery, freedom from forced labor, rights to fair hearing, rights to freedom of thoughts and expression, rights to freedom of peaceful assembly, rights to education, rights to marry and found a family, right to peaceful enjoyment of his possession, abolition of death penalty, right to review of a conviction by a high court. Machineries of ECHR. European Commission, that is machineries spelling, need to check that. European Commission, who receives complaints from parties through the Secretary General. The Commission could receive petitions from any individual NGO parties. European Court, Strasbourg Court, it is a regional human rights judicial body. The court began operating in 1959 and has delivered more those 10,000 judgments regarding alleged violations of the European Conventions on Human Rights. The Committee of Ministers was empowered to deal with merits of cases and along with that in ensuring that government complies with the court's judgment. Importance of Protocol number 11. Protocol 11 aims to rationalize the machinery for enforcement of rights and liberties guaranteed by the Convention. The European Courts has become the full-time permanent court. The Committee of Ministers is no longer empowered to deal with the merits of cases, although it maintains its important role of ensuring that government comply with the court's judgment. American Convention on Human Rights. The ACHR, also known as Pact of San Jose de Costa Rica, is an international human rights instrument. It was adopted by many countries in the Western Hemisphere on 22 November 1969 and come into force on 18 July 1978. Role and strength of ACHR. ACHR protects the human rights of people of the Organization of American States. The convention was ratified by 21 of the 32 members of the Organization of American States. Purpose of the conventions to consolidate a system of personal liberty and social justice based on respect for the essential rights of man. Rights protected by American Convention. Civil and political rights, rights to assembly, rights to nationality, rights to participate in government, rights to equal protection of law, economic, social and cultural rights, right to work, trade union rights, right to social security, right to health and healthy environment, right to food, right to education. Restriction imposed on the rights. It is to be noted that these rights and freedoms may be suspended in time of war, public danger or other emergency that threats the indolence and security of a state party. Machineries of American Convention. Enter American Commission on Human Rights. It is a quasi-judicial, quasi-political body established by the OAS Charter and American Conventions. The Commission is composed of 7 members. The Commission could receive petitions by any person, any NGO or any member state. Inter-American Court of Human Rights. The Inter-American Court of Human Rights is an autonomous judicial institution together with the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. It makes up the human rights protection system of the Organizations of American States, that is OAS. The court consists of 7 judges held to the highest moral judgments that have a high competency in human rights law. ECHR. ECO lays down only the rights and not the duties of individual. provides for on optional individuals procedures can take a decision against a state. ACHR stated the rights and duties of individual, has a mandatory individual petition procedure, can only make a report setting forth its opinion. That is the difference between ECHR and ACHR. National Commission for Women. It is the statutory body of the government generally concerned with advising the government on all policy matters affecting women. That is not GOUT, that is government. Established on 31 Jan 1992. Its object to represent the rights of women in India. The subject of their campaign have included dowry, politics, regional equal representation of women in jobs, and the exploitations of women for labor. Their structures are a chairperson nominated by central government, 5 members having experience in lower or legislative by can the government, a member secretary by central government, who shall an expert in the field of management, organizational structure or sociological movement, a civil service officer. Functions and powers of NCW. Investigate and examine all the matters relating to the safeguards provided for women. Time to time review of the existing provisions. Call for specific studies or in the visitations. Participate and advise for socio-economic development of women. Visit jail, remand home, women's institution or other places of custody where women are kept as prisoners. Any other matter which may be referred to it by central government. Tehran Conference 1968, the first worldwide governmental conference known as International Conference on Human Rights, popularly known as Tehran Conference, held in Tehran on April 22nd, May 13, 1968. Between April 22nd and May 13, 1968, 84 states, UN and other organizations participated. To review the progress made in 20 years since the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is the object of that Tehran Conference 1968. Points included in the Proclamation of Tehran are as follows. Members shall promote and encourage human rights to provide maximum freedom and dignity. Human rights and fundamental freedoms are indivisible. States should reaffirm their determination effectively to enforce the principles of Charter of the United Nations. Human rights provided and protected by the Indian Constitution for equality before law, as mentioned in Article 14, prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth, as mentioned in Article 15. Article 16 says equality in matters of public employment. Article 17, abolition of untouchability. Article 19, to freedom of speech and expressions, to assemble peacefully without arms, to form associations or unions, to move freely throughout the territory of India, to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India, to practice any profession, occupation, trade or business. Article 20 says protection in respect of conviction for offences, protection of life and liberty. Article 21, Article 22, protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. Article 23, right against exploitation. Article 24, 25, 29 and 30 and 32 are also mentioned, these rights. Judicial activism, the movements of the judiciary to inquire into the inner functioning of the other organizations of the government, that is the executive and legislature. Its definition: if the executive and legislature do not perform the functions assigned to them by the Constitution, the court may direct them to discharge the said function. To maintain the rule of law in the country is the object of this judicial activism. Importance of public interest litigation in judicial activism and public welfare. The court has given several important directions to the executive and legislature at the instance of the PIL. Notable is any them are as follows: bonded labor and other labor, child welfare, protection of prostitutes, improvement of care homes, protection of environment, directions related to CBI and CVC, enforcement of ethics of medical profession, regulations of blood banks, award of compensation for tech encounter, prevention of violation of human rights, award of compensation for rape victims, removal of sexual harassment of working women, to provide right of life and personal liberty to non-citizens, protection of dignity of court. United Nations Commissions on Human Rights. The Economic and Social Council appointed commissions on human rights, which was approved by the General Assembly on Feb 12, 1946. Their constitutions are as follows: composed of 18 members elected by ECOSOC. Each state member selected its own representative. Since 1991, the Commission has 53 members. Government annual meeting held in Geneva for 6 weeks beginning in March. Their functions are as follows: on International Bill of Rights, International Declaration and Conventions on Civil Liberties, the status of women, freedom of information and similar matters, the protection of minorities, the prevention of discrimination on grounds of race, sex, language or religion. Power of UN Commission: to carry out studies, make recommendations, draft new international treaties, investigate allegations of human rights violation, take actions when presented with evidence of large-scale violations, to establish some subcommissions. United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. The High Commissioner is appointed by the Secretary General. Expertise in the human rights and an understanding of diverse cultures, shall serve 4 years them as an undersecretary. Their responsibilities are to promote and protect the effective enjoyment by all of all civil, cultural, economic, political and social rights, including the rights to development, to provide advisory services, technical and financial assistance to states in the field of HR, to play important role in the removing obstacles related to HR, to coordinate UN education and public information programmes in the field of human rights, to enhance international cooperation. Human Rights Council. Prior to Human Rights Council, there was UN Commission on Human Rights. 15 March 2006, Human Commission replaced by HRC. There are 47 members from Africa, Europe, Asia states. Their functions are to promote HR education, serve as forum, make recommendations to the General Assembly, promote full implementation of HR, undertake universal periodic review, and work closely with governments and other organizations. So that's it for the today. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more legal insights, and drop a comment with your thoughts or questions. And I am really apologizing for the spelling mistakes. That would be certainly make corrections in the notes which you are going to purchase. So nothing worry about that thing. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Thank you.